What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I am back with my own new review of the Belle Collective. They have returned. The Bells are back. Okay, so we're starting off with what is the state of the collective. Majority of the women believe that the collective is dead. Let's see if the collective could be repairable. So we started with Akeisha, knowing that last year Willie was not happy about living apart from his family and pretty much said, let's move back to Jersey. By the time they did move back to Jersey, she found out that the building she wanted to buy got approved. So now she has to come back to Jackson and finish up her plan to bring bricks and hops to Jackson, Mississippi. And now we're seeing the office space she has. And she had a cute back and forth banter with Willie. And right now she's just loving life. Okay, she's managing her health. She's managing her husband's career and her kids. Now Sophia, Sophie, Sophia, so so Gucci, Sophia, Sophie come in. And to give her congratulations, then all of a sudden Gucci wants to say, I've been looking for an office space. You're not looking for an office space, Gucci. You're not. And Akeisha just ready to get everything running. So now we're in talks of have they seen or spoken to any of the other ladies. Not as much. Gucci has only talked to Letitia every once in a while. And Akeisha, same thing. She only spoken to Tambra. She ain't spoken to Letitia, Marie, or Latrice. Once Latrice's name was mentioned, Gucci made a face because we're flashing back to the fight that she initiated with Selena. She ended up filing charges on her. And now the state of where their family is at is in question. And here's my thing, Gucci. I'm sorry. Just like how I said it last season, I really don't like the fact that you're trying to make yourself out to be the victim in this when you're the one who initiated the fight. I'm sorry, it flashes back to my head every time that you was on 10 when you came into the place. You said, I'm not going to talk to an extra. She said, I'll show you an extra. You said, show me. You did the whole song and dance. And then you're the one who wanted to press charges. At the end of the day, it was a fight that you initiated. Selena defended herself. And you just going to take it as a grain of salt, please. It is what it is. So while going through that, she was shocked to see both Latrice and Tambra in court on Selena's side. I don't see why you would feel a way about it or be shocked. Those are Selena's friends. You had your people there. Why couldn't Selena have her people there? Now, of course, she really couldn't say much about Latrice because she knows Latrice and Selena are friends. But now she's questioning Tambra because apparently Tambra told her I was subpoenaed. But you can't be subpoenaed for something that's a peace hearing. So now she's feeling some type of way about it. She just wants it to be known. Just say you want to defend Selena. Just say you want to be on her side. You don't want to be on my side, and that's fine. Okay, well, since you know, don't get upset. But Akeisha had the idea of bringing everybody together so they can have a collective correction. Okay, because the last time they tried to have this type of ponderosa lemon squeeze, it didn't work well. Now we're going to move on from there. We get Letitia. Letitia is pulling up to her first home that her and Glendale bought that they turned into a rental property. They've had multiple families live there, so now they're renovating it. Glenn is playing Bob the Builder, but he don't know what he's doing. Now, knowing that Letitia likes to make a scene, she likes to have an entrance, she gonna pull up in her white car, come out like she's this boss, like she got something going on in these tight suits that look as if she's going somewhere where she ain't doing nothing. And last season, Letitia and Glenn were trying to fix their marriage and ended up with her getting a new ring and they were set to do a vow renewal, but the vow renewal got halted. Wonder why? So at this point, they're just focusing on being in business and working together in that aspect before they can completely say, I want to be with one another. So she comes in, she's complaining that not everything has gotten done. They've been on this property for about 6-7 months and there's still work that needs to be done. They need a new fence, an electrician coming in, a new paint job. And Glenn don't like being told what to do. He don't like being bossed around. But if you're going to work together, you're going to have to be told what to do, Glenn. I don't know what to tell you. So while Glenn wants to support this new elevated Tisha, he's been trying to find time to show her that he's been supportive, to show her he loves this new her. She's just been too busy to catch it. And maybe she hasn't been noticing. But I honestly don't think that Letitia is as busy as she claims she is. I think that she likes this chasing game. She likes this. He needs to see me in this new light if he wants to be with me. Because we all know Glendale is gonna go where the money is. Being on this show, going back and forth with Tisha is what he wants to do. And so does Letitia. Letitia loves the toxicity between her and Glenn. She lives off of it. And knowing that their issues on the show have gotten her more camera time, she wants to keep that camera time going. But she switches the conversation to make fun of Akeisha sending messages to the group to discuss the collective correction. I don't know why this is a hard name. This is a hard term to mess up. And yeah, Letitia's feeling some type of way. I can already tell, because for you to make fun of Akeisha being the one to bring everybody together when that's supposed to be your job, you're supposed to be headlining this. You're supposed to be the HBIC and you're failing at it. So now you're mad that Akeisha is the one who wanted to take charge and is actually going to put her money where her mouth is, right? But she says she wants to have a conversation about Latrice to discuss their friendship because she missed their friendship. Sure, fine. At the end of the day, she leaves the scene from Glenn, and it is what it is. So now we get Latrice. Latrice is approaching her new building, Taste, which is her restaurant, bar, and lounge. I saw the video for the grand opening or the soft opening. Looks very nice. I'm happy majority of the people supported her. And while building that, she's also going to build condos and then the new building for Guides Lane. So Latrice has been doing her big one, okay? All about her business. Now, Selena have walked in the building. Selena is now an official Belle. We all know Selena, one of the OGs from Bring It, DD4L. And she's a travel agent, Belle Bondsman. She owns an online store and a boutique with her daughters. She's a mother of 4, and I didn't know this, but she's now a grandmother of 6, okay? Latrice also hires Selena to be her bar manager. Selena has had a history of being a bartender. She's made a lot of money bartending. It's a great field to be in. So entering this new stage of being a restaurant owner, she figured what other help I could have asked for than for Selena. And it's a good idea. I'm happy that you asked for her help. Just be mindful that mixing business with pleasure, entering business with friends can also be a bit tricky. I hope that y'all friendship is on a solid ground, that it wouldn't be an issue, that she's going to be working for you. So knowing that they have a long history together, Akeisha has a long history with Selena, so does Tambra. Everybody pretty much knows Selena. Now, Cliff and Selena's fiance have hung out a lot recently. And how is Cliff and Latrice going through a lot? They're arguing over the business as usual. And we get to know that Selena's fiance, Michael, no, what's her name? Yeah, Michael. They've been together for 4 years. They bonded over food. Their meet cute story was her friend told her about this smoked sausage she should try at this food truck. And Michael ended up getting the last sausage. But he shared it with Selena and they've been together ever since. Lovely, cute story. So Latrice wants to bring Selena back around the ladies and then mentions the message that Akeisha sent her about the collective correction. And she says, I don't want to speak to none of the ladies. I don't have nothing to say to Marie. I don't have nothing to say to Letitia, because we all know last season at the reunion, Letitia and Marie were trying to gang up on Latrice. They were, especially Letitia when she got about her receipt and got in Latrice's face. Out of the collective, she's only close to Tambra. That's because her and Tambra have been on the outs. Everybody came at them last season. But when it comes to the collective correction, there needs to be some resolve. And we mentioned Gucci. She ain't seen Gucci since they went to the peace bond hearing. So the judge ordered it to be a no contact order. No social media contact, no DMs, no nothing. I don't know if it got lifted or dismissed because they're going to end up having a scene later in this season. And at the end of the day, Selena ain't got nothing to say to Gucci. It's Gucci who needs to hold herself accountable and admit her part in this. But that's all I got for that. We're going to move on. We get Marie. Marie is taking her kids to the park, and we found out that her lupus is in remission. She's no longer taking prednisone. She's lost 50 pounds, so she feels healthier. She feels happier. Cool, Marie. I am happy for you, but stop touching your face. Your face has changed since the season before, and now we see her 2 cousins come in. They had a quick conversation about her mom, Lola, who was back on street, back on drugs. And Marie is not going to fight her mom to get her some help. She's just going to love her and support her from a distance. In the midst of her cousins popping by, they wanted to inform her that their other cousin is gonna have a birthday party. But that cousin is not really too happy about Marie coming. So she was like, why isn't she happy about me coming? The backstory of that cousin was she used to be a stripper in Dallas, Texas. She asked Marie, I need another job. I want to do better. Marie ends up giving her a job at her accounting firm. And in Marie's words, I changed her life. So why isn't she happy that Marie's coming? So they expressed to Marie that knowing that she's this big top celebrity, this big top successful woman, you got all these businesses, but they have felt belittled by Marie. They have felt like she acts like she's embarrassed to be around them. She's embarrassed to be seen by them, be related to them. And of course, she asked the other cousin, how long have she worked for her? Almost 16 years. So why would you feel like I believe I'm better than you? Well, Marie, your attitude and the way you like to the way you like to combat with what you have, the way you like to combat with you're this big successful woman, you got all these businesses, you got all this money. You do place yourself out to be better. That's why you like to go back and forth with the women on the show as if they're competing against you, as if they're like, nanny and boo booing you about your business, about what you have, what you don't have when you do that to them. And I hear you, Marie, that when you have been put in a better position to bring your family along, you want them to achieve the same success as you have, but they don't want to. It's not up to you to make them want it. It's not up to you to have them just get it. If you want them to have it, they gotta work hard for it. I hear that. I really do, because you don't want to be taken advantage of, that I'm the one that set you up in this position. You don't want to take it. I got that part. But I ain't gonna lie though, Marie, you do like to brag about what you've done for people. You do like to brag about how you changed someone's life. You know that they didn't come from good homes or good areas. You like to remind folks of their downfalls. You do. And you never like to hear the way you treat people. That's the self-reflection, the self-awareness you do not have. And I do believe that since being on this show, you probably have thought you were better than your family. You probably have treated them like they're just beneath you. That this is not your type of lane, this is not your type of people. It gives off that. You give me that impression, Marie. You actually do. But hold yourself accountable that the way you treat your family members, they're calling you out for it. And like she said, it's not her intent that she does this. They believe it, but that's how they feel, which means you need to be aware of what you're saying and help them understand this is not what I mean by I'm doing this. So other than that, we're going to be moving on. We get to the collective correction. Akeisha invites everybody. They all come in. I loved Latrice's outfit. Tamara, I'm very happy to see you, girl. You're looking amazing after having your gorgeous baby girl. And since becoming a mom for the first time, Tamara has been loving it. And she's back at work. And she's had nothing but peace in her life. When the ladies did meet and see each other, Latrice did not want to hug or see Gucci or Natisha. She gave Gucci a little spirit finger handshake, really didn't want to touch her, really didn't want to be near her. And then Letitia wanted to force a hug on Latrice. Because she said, listen, I'm still the big sis. I'm going to hug you anyway. I don't want that type of hug because you have not been acting like a big sis at all, Letitia. So while walking down Fair Street, Akeisha wanted to present them the surprise. How, I've been trying to bring my business down here and I've had a hard time getting a building. So now all that's changed. I have gotten my building approved. I now about to bring bricks and hops down to Jackson, Mississippi. All of the ladies were excited. They were happy for her. Tambra said Akeisha has been working so hard to bring another successful business down in Jackson. And Marie ended up sending a message that she will not be able to come because she's going to be setting up for her new treatment clinic and felt like that was more important than the corrective collection. I honestly think that Marie didn't want to come because she wasn't ready to face what she done. But hey, it might have been better that she was not there. And it was a nice picnic set up for them. And did y'all peep how often Letitia was just looking to find a problem with Akeisha's plan of bringing everybody together? It's almost like Letitia is definitely jealous of the way Akeisha's able to come in. First of all, keep up with her words and her honesty and her mission to bring back a successful business to Fair Street, and how she was able to just bring everybody together, because Akeisha is probably the only one out of the group who don't have issues with anybody. She is able to be in good places with everybody, and Letitia is not that. She don't have that. Like, the purpose of the lunch was for everyone to open up about what they've heard, what they felt, and let's all take accountability of what we can do to be better, right? Now, Latrice, she's like, we've done this before. We've had multiple kumbayas and we've all talked about our issues, but then once we leave this space, we got somebody on the phone talking about that person, and they're never talking about their issues to that person. And she's talking about Gucci, Marie, and Letitia. Those three bitches have definitely been guilty of talking behind someone's back and never explaining it to their faces. And look, Akeisha just wants to know who's been saying these things. But everyone knows what they've done. They just need to come out and admit it. But that's not what they're going to do. Letitia's not going to admit that she's been messy. She's been starting the shit. Neither is Gucci and neither is Marie. Now, we're starting off with what's being messy. Akeisha revealed that Latrice told her that Letitia and Glenn wanted to set up Willie by finding a woman to reach out to him in the DMs. When Letitia heard it repeated, she said, "Who told you that?" She said, "Latrice." And Latrice, without a doubt, said, "Yeah, that happened." According to confessional, Akeisha repeated the whole thing. And she said, "In the day, I don't give a damn who is sliding in Willie's DMs. He has what he calls respect for his wife. Meaning, you're not about to have that shit come over on my shit. Because me and my shit are good. You ain't about to come over here and mess up my family." And I do believe it, because out of the scandals or out of the mess that have occurred on this show, Letitia's marriage have been the main one that's dealt with infidelity. And I do believe that Letitia has carried a jealousy, envy energy towards Akeisha, because Akeisha has the light that she wants. She has a very successful husband who played NFL. He has multiple businesses as well as Akeisha. She has ties in history in Fair Street. She was able to keep true to her word, come up with plans on helping Fair Street. And Letitia's mad about it. She mad she couldn't do nothing about it. She mad that she didn't have what she have. So, of course, Letitia would come up with this plan. And let's not play games. I believe Latrice said it last season at the reunion that Latrice, Marie, and Letitia be on the phone trying to come up with plans to cause a mess, cause drama within the group for the other ladies, because that's what they want. I believe it. I really do believe it. So, of course, Letitia ain't got nothing to say because she doesn't want to admit it, but it is the truth. Then we got Tambra. Tambra calls out that Gucci throws a lot of shade, but sometimes that shade could go a little bit awry once it's about my family. I wish it was a bit expounded upon that, but Gucci wanted to check Tambra about showing up to court for Selena, and how you didn't want us to be in your business, but you in my business. Same point in time, Gucci, you did talk about your business that everybody had an opinion on. And Tambra, she just went through this whole song and dance about how the attorney was a prominent member in her family, and I was asked to be there. I don't need to be asked to be there, blah, blah, blah. All I wanted for Tambra to do in this moment was to say, "You know what, Gucci, ain't no shade towards you, but Selena is my friend and have been my friend for years. So me witnessing what I saw at that event, I went there to support Selena. I went there to tell my side of the story. Take it how you want to. It is what it is. Point blank, period." Tambra didn't need to lie. She didn't need to pretend as if her going to support Selena would have been really that big of an issue. If you know that's your friend and you're going to support her anyway, fuck what Gucci believes. Fuck what she thinks. Like, don't have time. Akeisha was trying to calm Gucci down because we all seen how Gucci can get riled up when she's in her feelings. And at the end of the day, I don't care about Gucci's feelings. I don't, okay? So we also get to Gucci receiving an apology from Latrice, because we have never really heard from Gucci about her side when she came to the event. And she said when she saw Selena's car, she was angry, walked in, had it in her mind that Latrice set her up, knowing that Latrice had said in more ways than one, "I did not set you up." And admitted that Latrice did reach out. She did apologize, but I'm still waiting for the apology back at her, Latrice Gucci. When will you give Latrice her apology, because she does deserve it? Then the whole game that Gucci wanted to play after receiving the apology, she screenshotted it, sent it back to Latrice to make sure that you mean to send this to me, then send it to Akeisha. Don't have time for games, bitch. Either accept my apology or don't. Don't save it because you want to call me out on something later that you might have an issue with, that you might end up creating. Don't have time for Gucci. But seeing the way Gucci acted at Latrice's event, it made her look at her different, which she had a right to. Then we're back to Gucci feeling some type of way about Latrice not informing her that she purchased the building. I said it before. She didn't have to, Gucci. You didn't make her sign an agreement that she was only supposed to work with you. She was a free agent. She could have worked with any realtor that was willing to give her the building that she wanted. But communication works both ways. Latrice, you could have reached out to Gucci to find out if she still was looking for a building for you. And Gucci, you should have checked in with Latrice to see if she was still ready to find a building, if she still wanted to look for a building. Point blank. Now, when it comes to trying to check Gucci about people were getting involved in her family issues, Latrice wanted to tie in that everybody was getting involved into her marriage. But before Latrice could finish, I think Akeisha jumped in and said, wait a minute, that's something different, because I felt like this is something that we witnessed and seen before. And you've already, cleared it. You've already, dismissed the bruises, you said, but she felt like, no, it's the same thing. Y'all was interfering in my situation. No, Latrice, I'm sorry. When it came down to your marital issues with Cliff, we've had a front row seat from the beginning. The whole accusing him whether or not he was abusive or not, that was based off of what we've seen. And on camera, we've seen this man drag you out of a club and cuss at you, fuss at you. We've seen him act a fool. You have confided in your friend about your marital issues, and when it came down to it being repeated and what he said and done to you, you acted like it didn't happen. You acted like what we saw isn't what we saw. And that's the part of believing that you're just settling into the mistreatment you've endured. So you can't call out that someone was interfering in your relationship if you put it out there for everybody to have questions and concerns. And I believe that Akeisha was coming from a place of concern. I don't believe she was coming from a place trying to air you out, embarrass you, none of that. Because if you're going to confide in someone about your relationship, you can't get mad if they was to ask you, then why are you here? Why won't you leave? Like, I can't be a safe space for you to confide in me and not be able to tell you what I believe you should do. Not be able to tell you how this makes me feel that you're being treated like this. You know what I'm saying? So, she felt like Akeisha had way too much to say at the reunion, but she'll let it go this time because as far as talk on the phone, interfering in other people's marriages, I don't believe that was Akeisha's input. I believe she was coming from a place of concern. She was giving you real advice. That's what I believe. But everything kind of got squashed, but not everything, because Letitia wants to have a one-on-one conversation with Latrice, knowing that Letitia, she needs this, okay? She needs to have multiple scenes, multiple conversations, because she needs to check, okay? She needs to make stuff happen so she can still be on this show. And now since Marie is not here, there's still a lack of accountability that needs to be addressed. And Latrice, she just feels like it could work, it couldn't work. I'ma see there's a sliver of hope, but in the end, they all took photos, and we'll see where it goes from there. So then we see Dr. Antoinette Lyles. Yes, the doctor is back. She's from the first season. She's one of the original Bells. I'm very excited to see her back. I'm happy she's back as a friend. And Latrice is a frequent customer. She always supports Black businesses, and I'm loving that her and Latrice have stayed friends. I love their dynamic when they were first on the show, because they were both they're both the youngest on the show, which I loved. And they were definitely both shady, which I was here for. Now, I love the fact that we see Dr. Antoinette Lyles in her element of being a African American dentist in her own practice, doing the fucking most, okay? Loving it, Black Girl Magic all the way. Now, we are discussing the Bells, and we were discussing the collective correction. Latrice don't trust any of the ladies, okay? Now, when it came to talking about the Bells, because Antoinette doesn't know, there have been some new Bells added to the mix. She mentions Akeisha. She's a real business owner. She talks about she got approved for a building in Fair Street, but Latrice threw shade that she never got the keys. She might need some financing. She don't have a lot of investors, which led to Antoinette coming in because she built her dental practice from the ground up, no help, built it from scratch. And I caught that, Latrice. I caught that shade. It is a difference, and you know it is a difference for Akeisha getting a building on Fair Street, which is a very historical street of Jackson. It's probably very hard, probably a lot of channels to go to get approval on that type of building versus Antoinette building from the ground up in any area that is not connected to Fair Street to build her own mental practice, her own dental practice. So I caught that, Latrice, don't do that. Then she said, I don't trust Marie. I don't trust Letitia. And Antoinette said, oh girl, I got an issue with Letitia because she gonna accuse me after a reunion that I was flirting with Glenn. Baby, I'm not flirting with that man. The man who cheats on you, girl, bye. Girl, bye. I forgot about that. This was at Antoinette's dental opening. You know, how everything was completed. Oh, baby, no ma'am. And Marie, she don't like Marie. And she said, listen, when it comes to dealing with these Bells, I will lose money if I'm in a room with them because I'm actually in a business that I'm required to be here all day, every day, okay? Of course, you know, the dynamics of the collective is still up in the air. And Latrice is willing to give them one more chance, but she feels like if they come out of line, I need you to help me. I need you to back me up if they ever was to come out of line at me. Of course, Antoinette says she's going to come because she got some things to get off her chest. She's been holding on to that accusation that Letitia had for her, that she was flirting with her husband. Baby, I'm not doing this with Letitia. I'm not at all. And that's pretty much where it ended. I'm actually happy to see where this is going to go. We'll see. But love it that the Bells are back. And we're going to get some mess. The men might get into it. Ooh, wee. This is going to be a good season. But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you guys later. Bye.